Well, I hope you all enjoyed the church tour. Now it's time for our little mini churchyard tour. The family vault of Mr. Joseph Adams. Many of them, or most of them, are worn away, but there are some that you can still read. Sacred to the memory of Mrs. Janet Adams, wife of Mr. Joseph Adams of this parish, who departed this life the 21st of May 1837, aged 59 years, to go with God. And this one here, Joseph Dawson, 14th of March 1790 to the 17th of April 1834. That's 1791, sorry. And it's got to transmit future inhabitants of this parish and neighbourhood the memory of a man whose life, amidst the duty and arduous profession, was devoted to the welfare, improvement and religious education of something. This is the bottom bit's worn away, starting to wear away. Yeah, there he is, Joseph Dawson. There's no other names mentioned on this one, just himself. It's a vault, so he's obviously wealthy, shall we say. These ones over here are all the Georgian era ones, and they are more, well, completely worn away. In remembrance of Mrs. Anne Creed, wife of Mr. John Creed of this parish, who departed this life May the 21st, 1834, in the 68th year of her age. There's a box vault one over here. It's more or less completely worn away, the writing. There is a tiny bit on there, so we will have a look. John Spinster, who departed this life September, and the rest of it's gone, I'm afraid. Probably be able to find that through the burial records. These are the annoying ones where you can just see faint traces of writing, but it's blistered away and, well, it's impossible to see. There is a very interesting and moving one coming up soon, which is actually a stone on the side of the wall of the church, rather than being a gravestone or tombstone, as you want to call it, in the ground like these. Used as like a garden area as well now, and you've got this arch and that, which is nice. Which goes to these little areas. Oh, gosh, it's cold. Cold and damp. Bow Heritage Trail. Sad thing is with a lot of them is that they're so worn away that you can't really make anything out. Apart from the odd word here and there sometimes, and that's even more frustrating than not being able to make out anything at all. Like on these ones. In memory of Joseph Jones, a man from his birth almost deaf and dumb. He was born at Hambledon in Buckinghamshire, and in his childhood was taken into the service of the Reverend Dr. Kendrick, rector of that parish. The Reverend Thomas Amain, his successor, continued to employ him, with whose family he remained a faithful, diligent and grateful servant near 50 years. He died the 28th of December 1802, aged 72 years. So he was born near deaf and dumb, and obviously that family took him under their wing. I mean, maybe his own family were dead, or they was going to put him in the workhouse or something. You don't know, do you? But yeah, he remained with that family for near 50 years. So they obviously thought very highly of him and him of them, especially to have raised a stone like this to his memory, which would not have been cheap in those days. So that's one. And the other one is, near this stone, life interred the body of Mrs. Joyce Hunt, spinster of this parish, who departed this life the 24th day of January 1758 in the 83rd year of her age. So that's a pretty good age for those in those days. Farewell, vain world. I've seen enough of thee, and now I come not something thou joyest in me. Thy smiles I count not now, thine anger, fear, freed from them all, my head lies quiet here. What something you hear of me, pray mind to shun and look at. Though enough, there's two, and the bottom bit's gone because it's all blistered away. I don't normally read out the full verses, but this is quite old and pretty well preserved, so I'll take a photograph of it. And sometimes you change that. You can actually sit and study the photograph and read them better sometimes than in a video. Now we go around the back of the churchyard. Oh no, it's all full of rats around here. I just see another one. If you watched the opening thing to the church, you'll have seen one rat, and they're all over the place. Here's one stone in memory of Mr. John Wheelwright, who died August the 28th, 1821, aged 74 years. Also Mr. Robert Wheelwright of London. Sorry, I beg your pardon. In memory of Mrs. Joan Wheelwright, not John, Joan, died August the 28th, 1821, aged 74. Also Mr. Robert Wheelwright of London, husband of the above, who died April the 23rd, 1822, aged 74. So they died within a year of each other. this one here is fairly well preserved as well. In memory of Mr. James Hale of this parish, died on the 22nd of June 1822, aged 58 years. Also of Mrs. Mary Hale, wife of the above, who died on the 14th of April 1853, aged 93. Wow, that's a good age. A couple of the parishioners, Miss Joyce, the spinster, she made a good age. Oh, I hate these ones, they really annoy me because there's bits there but you can't make it all out. Edmund Little, something of the above, who departed this life 30th, and that's all gone there, so yeah. Mr. Edmund Litter, L-I-T-T-L-E-R, Littler, the family's name is, who died the 25th of April 18, that's 42 or 22. The rest of it's gone, I'm afraid. They're only preserved enough like this because they've been sheltered by the wall here. This one, or whoever was mentioned on it, has long since worn away, I'm afraid. I hope I don't get no rats run up my trouser leg. That'd be most unseemly, wouldn't it? Shouldn't like that at all. Not so bad. Fair enough. We're alright with those. There's one over here. Whether there's going to be an inscription readable or not, I don't know. Yeah, there is. Sacred to the memory of Emma, daughter of Thomas and Mary Williams, who died 4th of April 1813, aged 2 years. There's this one here. Is there anything readable on that? There is much, is there? Sacred to the memory of Mrs. Elizabeth Gentry. I hate this when this happens. You can't make them out. Wife of Mr. Joseph Gentry of this parish, who departed this life, and the rest of it's gone, I'm afraid, because it's all blistered away. Well, at least we got their names. That's better than a slap in the face of a cold wet fish. Son of George something. Yeah, it's very worn. Same as this. I mean, if you were to scrape the moss off and clean that one, you'd probably be able to read it, but James Sissom, Jane Sissom, daughter of William I can't really make much of the top one out. It's got Martha Elizabeth Gittens. It's another one, the name, but you can see most of it's worn away. In our nighttime bit when I came round here, you literally couldn't make any of them out, so Sacred to the memory of Elizabeth, the beloved. Oh, most of it's gone. Of this parish. I wonder if there's anything on the other side. Let's have a look. Hopefully we won't get anything run up our trouser legs. No. Richard something. It's so black, it's hard to make out. I'll take a picture and then we might be able to see better like that. Because I always put video on, and then if I'm able to do pictures as well, they'll go on too. This one, whatever it is, looks as though it's well and truly overgrown and collapsed. All you can see is the word "this." As to what the rest of it says, I do not know. Most of them are so old, and this is really polluted, this area as well. There's a lot of pollution here. The family vault of John So if you were to clean it, you might be able to get a bit, but the thing is with cleaning old gravestones, you have to get permission. That's an old one, that is. That's from the 16 or 1700s. It's got this body-shaped stone. They're meant to represent a body wrapped in a shroud to remind people of their own mortality. Cheerful bunch, our forebears, weren't they? A lot of the message in reminding people of their own mortality was to try and be nice in this life and to remember that you're not here forever, so be good and also enjoy yourself. And this one's more or less completely blistered away as well, so let's look. To the memory of, and all we can see is G-O-F-F Goff, 1834. So I'll take a picture of that because I may be able to find out who it is. So to the memory of, you can just see the startings of the mister, but as you can see they blister some of these stones, particularly in cold or pollution. Take us back round, and I shall end us off with the one that I found to be most interesting, poignant and moving. See, nowadays someone's born deaf and dumb, and we don't use that word anymore, dumb, do we? But they meant no offence by it. It was the term they used, that someone was deaf and couldn't speak. We would say non-verbal now, but they didn't say those kinds of things, and they meant no offence by it at all. It was the terms that were used, and they sound very harsh to the modern ear, but we mustn't judge the past from our own perspective. I mean, some of the things they did would really shock us, and some of the things we do would most definitely shock the very life out of them. So, yeah, we all come from different times and eras, don't we? To the memory of Joseph Jones, a man from his birth almost deaf and dumb. He was born at Hambledon in Buckinghamshire, and in his childhood was taken into the service of the Reverend Dr. Kendrick, rector of that parish. The Reverend Thomas Amain, his successor, continued to employ him, with whose family he remained a faithful and diligent and grateful servant for nearly 50 years. He died the 28th of December 1802, aged 72. So yeah, that's just the one I wanted to end off with. So Joseph Jones. Hope you all found this little tour interesting. Thanks everyone for watching. See you all on the next one. Back at the beginning again, and the Adams tomb or vault, and by a complete oversight I missed this inscription: in memory of Mary, the affectionate wife of Benjamin Adams, who died the 30th of April 1852. So I assume that Benjamin would have been the son of this couple here, and that would have been his wife, I assume. I may be wrong, mustn't make assumptions sometimes, but yeah, I don't like to miss people off, because it's important, they're part of the parish and they're a memory, and no one should be forgotten really. So yeah, that is now the end of the tour. Hope you all found it interesting. Thanks very much for watching. Take care all, and I'll see you all soon.